Go ahead. Alright, so this video is just to showcase how and what my Exodia deck 2013 did. Um, and it worked around draw searching, but in a unique way that I made it as its pilot. And you can net deck a deck if you want, but you never know the in-depth idea of it if you're not the original pilot or try to learn the exact idea of it if you don't play test it over and over again. Yeah, you want to look up certain decks. You can net deck if you want, and then try to make it your own, but don't just, if you don't like it, just get rid of it. You looked up the deck, try to make it work for you in every scenario by playtesting it. Every loss you take, every win you win, um, you want to evolve the idea and make it even better. So when One Day a Piece first came out, I instantly thought appropriate. It dropped at 3, it came in a pack, I opened the pack, I saw it, an idea just formed in my head like Jimmy Neutron, and that idea just sparked multiple things. And combining not only a Exodia deck, it's to draw and search, but it also had Blue Eyes White Dragon in it, Exodia and Stardust Dragon. And I'll show you. So if you open up, like, this is the key card to draw wise to set up for your combo that you want to see in this build. And then at the time Ultimate Offering was out, you want to see this in your hand to do the combo if you don't have the cards, monsters to set and protect them while you're going off. Book of Eclipse will help you set up the initial play to activate appropriate on their side. And this is 2013 when One Day a Piece was at 3. So you have protection and everything to set up as well as drawing. But if you don't see appropriate, this deck gives your opponent everything. And then you have Dark Bribe to negate, they draw, and then they will be essentially drawing so many cards. And as you see, they summon a monster, you want to Book of Eclipse it puts it face down, and then on the end phase they draw a card. And then set up for Ultimate Offering, this way appropriates on end phase get activated. You can also play Dark World Dealings with this deck after appropriate has been activated, but in the initial setup, if appropriate's face down, you cannot draw or activate. You can't activate appropriate if it's set and you play Dark World Dealing, because the last thing they're doing is discarding. But originally, when it's already face up, you would draw from Dark World Dealings. You'll get the +2. So like I said, this was when One Day a Piece was at 3. So even if I chose to end my turn, we're protected. But it pretty much, you just kept drawing until you had everything you need in hand. And I'll show you. Like now, you still have a 24 card deck. You plussed everything you need off of the appropriates. These are the monsters you need, and you need a desynchro. So at this point, I would stop drawing and utilize Ultimate Offering to go into my combo play, my monsters. So let me show you what I meant. And this all formulated off of an idea of One Day a Piece, and going from there at the current meta. And again, this is 2013. I'm just showing you the idea I had behind making this deck and what I wanted it to do. So you get your first summon, and then you want to summon at least a sec. You have to summon a second emissary and Sangang and the tablet. Ash did not exist or any hand traps at this point, so it was a slow meta, so grinding game. But this allowed you to special summon and then, normal summon, additional, at the cost of life points. So it's like, Exodia decks, the way they work is like, basically, they don't care about life points, and normally they play cards that lower their life points but give them the advantage to play other cards. So this was the same thing, like draw searching, like then paying Ultimate Offering, sacrifice some life, like you're going to church, you give some life, you give money for the plate that goes around for God. It's kind of the same thing, the way this mechanic works. So we're going to Trishula, but we won't use his effect. And now if they did have an additional card, we would use this effect, but for this demonstration we won't, because we need their blue eyes on the field. So you get to search over the both emissaries. You get 2 pieces, and tablet will give you blue eyes. But if you wanted to further go in, like, by all means. But we don't like to deck out, and we like to draw search. Like I said, you have trade-ins. You just got all blue eyes off a tablet. You could go from there. But at this point, we got 2 pieces. We would desynchro. I would desynchro, because this is my deck and nobody else played it like this in 2013. You bring back the monsters, and they're not hard once per turn. So, but the second one will be different. You will be going into scrap, and then you'll get 3 more searches, of course. Get Head of Exodia, of course, with Sangang, another Limb, and another Blue Eyes. Then use Scrap's effect to pop the last emissary, and pop one of their cards, whether they have back row or anything. That's basically what you're doing. And you will search out the last piece, having all 5 pieces. This is the idea I had in my Blue Eyes deck, my Exodia deck in 2013. You just see a whole bunch of cards, a whole bunch of different pieces of the puzzle. You want to bring them together with the idea of the game mechanics of the deck leader. And this deck, as you saw, I also, no matter what, to this day, ran Stardust Dragon, Blue Eyes, because you're not using it really, but there were duels where I didn't have Exodia, and I'll just beat them down with Blue Eyes and go from there. You can sync Tablet with Emissary by themselves to bring out a level 5, but optimally, you want to set up appropriates to draw, and then Ultimate Offering lets you get the additional summoning to search. So that's all the deck did. Like, this is the idea behind it, and it went undefeated with everybody I played. They found it annoying. They couldn't beat it for nothing with the cards that were out in 2013. And as you know, with time goes on, more cards come out and the game changes. But that was the idea behind this deck that I formulated when One Day of Peace first came out. One Day of Peace dropped, it was at 3. Ultimate Offering was at 1. We had Max Seed. I don't know. I just, it's like when a card comes out, you instantly think about other card combos and what would go well with it. I'm like, alright. One Day of Peace first came out. Each player draws a card. Neither player takes any damage. And to the end of the turn, I'm like, we're both drawing? What? I instantly thought about Appropriate, and then all of these cards help you draw off of Appropriate. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards that will let you trigger Appropriate to activate it. And then you have 3 more that once it was already activated, you would draw off of Appropriate. Now, like I said, it won't activate Appropriate, but once it's already activated, you can draw. If you want to see what I mean, let me show you. This is also how I show you the combos fast and go from there. So we would just need this to, it'll trigger 1 so we can see, and then going into the other one from there. But to showcase, Dark World Dealing won't let you plus. We'll save it as is so I can show you what I mean. Those custom games, deck shuffling, no, so that way we know what we're drawing. Forbidden deck allowed. Blue Eyes, where are you? So we can not get OTK'd. And then I'll show you. Just show you the card. Alright. See? So we have the cards. Obviously. Can we stack them? We'll set the appropriates. Pass turn. We know he's gonna summon Blue Eyes, alternative. We're gonna take that 3G. Then we draw for turn. We're gonna play 1 day apiece. This is why I loved it when it came out, especially at 3. If you have 2 in hand, it's perfect. It would activate. You can activate both of them if you want to. But when initially activated, you don't draw, because that's how it was ruled. That's why I said the word text got changed to after that. Each time your opponent draws, you draw 2 cards out. Each time they draw outside of the draw phase, you draw 2 cards. The original text didn't have after that. It said when your opponent activated a card that draws outside of the draw phase, you draw 2 cards. That was the original text. Then it got changed. But to showcase what Dark World Dealing does, you activate Dark World Dealing. You get rid of. You see, you can't activate the second appropriate. But the first one you draw off of. You got the +2. Then basically that's it. So off of Dark World Dealings, you can't plus. And you're saved by 1 day apiece. This is why it was perfect to play it in the deck. And then you just summon Exodia. So I've always been a lover of lover. I've always loved draw searching and thinking outside the box with whatever cards are at our disposal at the time. And I've had other people tell me help them with decks, but like there's so many decks, like you don't want to think about everything. You don't want to use every deck. You don't want to be the person behind every deck making it better. So I stick to the decks I love that I've played over time, and like I said, I've always been a lover of Blue Eyes, Exodia, and making it work with cards that later came out. Like this came out first, then way later, 1 day apiece came out, Dark World Dealing came out, Hand Destruct came out, Book of Eclipse, and they got Hollow Print, Dark Bribe. Like all of these cards came out way after Appropriate came out. Like Appropriate came out way before its time, when Pot of Greed was still legal and Graceful Chariot, but they were both at once. So it was like to see this card, your opponent draws, then you plus off of it. Like nobody really ran in the deck to speed it up until way later. Like I said, when 1 day apiece came out, just instantly thought about this and this whole combo. And you can play Tablet with Sangan to summon a Synchro for level 4, Desynchro later on, do it again if you wanted to. You can Synchro with Emissary for level 5, Synchro, Desynchro, do it again. That way you're searching out 2 pieces and 2 Blue Eyes come to hand. And you're basically going from there. Like I just like thinking outside the box and making things work that people say won't ever work with cards that nobody really plays. Like all of these, like even with my new build, Draw Fate, which I call control draw, because you're controlling what you draw, and you're controlling everything. Like it's a control deck. You're controlling what you draw, like, and everything set up. And yeah, I bumped up. I took out 1 Lightning Storm to put in Harpy's Feather Duster, because I don't want to set the second Mystic Mind just to play the Lightning Storm. Like we know we have ways to guarantee play Lightning Storm even if we have a full field with face up cards. So I figure Tekken 1 I'm gonna get a Secret Rare one, because we know I love Secret Rare, and this is the card that made me want to play Update. Like once this card came out, it's like the requirements for this card are crazy. Like your life points have to be lower, and they have to have a monster that's stronger than yours, and those are the first 2 requirements: lower life points, and they have to have a monster that's stronger than yours. The second 2 drawbacks to this card is after you play this card, you can't set cards. So it's like even if you search out any of your traps, or if you want to search out Demise or anything that you can set, like Forbidden Droplet, you can't set these the turn that you search them with this. So then the other thing is you can only activate 1 more effect or spell or trap card. Like whether it's a monster effect or spell or trap card, is like everything revolving around this card is great only if you control what the environment is, if you understand that. So it's like you would just be searching, like, you're putting 3 cards on top, stacking to draw 1, but it's like this card has so many drawbacks and everything, and then once Mystic Mind came out, like I did with One Day of Peace and Appropriate, when Mystic Mind came out, I instantly thought, hey, now I can put this to use, because this will let me safely set up the situation to fully play this card at its max potential. And then what's wrong with it? Exodia is on the card. Exodia, Dark Magician, and Blacklisted Soldier, the Ritual. This card, to its max potential, lets me set up to summon Exodia. So I'm like, alright. And then, like I said with the other thing, like, the deck revolves around having less light points, which I think this card was specifically made for that situation, like for Exodia. All Exodia decks require having less light points or sacrificing light points to do a bigger thing of getting to the main condition of the deck. So you have ways to play Mystic Mind, ensuring even if whether you're giving them a monster or they're summoning their own monster, it has a way to guaranteed you can play this card as max potential. They're locked. You have protection to get less light points. You can give them more light points. Um, you can draw. Like I said, like these are meant to draw. You got draw, and then you're drawing till you have your setup, which is draw fate and your protection. Or even if you have this, I have a lot of duels where this card helps set me up to lock them, and then go from there. Like, let me show you. Like even opening first, going first. What I mean with the combo, whether it's that or Forbidden Droplet. I'm gonna make it a little longer than this, so we'll go back to customs, not shuffled, opening hand, 4 cards. We're gonna face Blue Eyes again. Let's go ahead. So I can show you what I'm talking about. And we're gonna use Draw Fate. Why is it an invalid deck? Harpies, because Harpies Feather Dust is banned or limited. I mean, I only have 1 copy in the deck, so what is it talking about? Just put this on. I don't know why I said that. Harpies is at 1. I think it's gonna let me go first anyways. Or not. So we don't want to do this. Like I said, we have to go first. I can show you going first. There we go. So going first, you want to drop the Mystic Mind, and this allows you, like, even without the field barrier, you can set the monster, and these are the draw search automatically. Whether it's Dark Factor or more production, or Droplet to negate their card, but you'll be plussing 1 off of this. So you enter, they'll special summon their monster, you activate. I always like going for Dark Factory. Yes. Send Sangang. You draw 1, and then you search 1. See what I mean? So I get to draw a search with that package going first. Same would be with Droplet. But these are only opening hands, so going first or going second. So it's like, alright, now we set Sang. Let's say you don't have this, but you have Droplet. This would allow you to go first upon them summoning a monster or not. It won't matter, because as soon as they summon a monster, you can just get rid of your monster by negating their effect, and then you're still getting the search off of Sangan. See what I mean? So either way, going first is like, then they're just locked under them by themselves, and then you can go from there. But it's the initial setup that is what I'm talking about. Like, there's so much things, like if you think bigger on a different scale. Let's sort this back to where it was. So like I said, you have the draw search package built in one. Like, this will let you draw search point blank, and then you +1 with the searching or the drawing. Setting up the points, and this is the key card that sets up the whole operation. Even if you took light point damage, and there's times where I play this card and it's the only card I have in my hand, and I'll stack Mystic Mine, 1 day apiece, and something else like Lightning Storm or something, and I'll draw either 1 day apiece to save me or Mystic Mine to play it and lock them out, followed by the other 2 cards I set up, and then just regain control of the duel and come back with like 200 light points left. But this card is what made me rethink what I want to do with this, and I saw this on another YouTuber and just thought, like, I look at other YouTubers to see their decks and what they have in it, and then I see specific cards like Dart Factory or More Production, and it makes me think, how can I use that in my deck for what I want to do? Like, this is a good card, because otherwise I wouldn't know this card came out. And then I thought about it with these cards, like as you saw, to draw search. And not only that, I can set a card, send them to the grave, draw, and search, +1, and still leave Mystic Mine to its max potential of keeping control over the field of the monsters, controlling the spell and trap cards that they play with Judgment. There's times where I have Mystic Mine and Barrier, and I'll set a Metaverse and Droplet, and they'll Psychic Cosmo to remove Mystic Mine from play. I'll chain Droplet first, getting rid of Barrier to negate their monster that's on the field, and since Mystic Mine is still in full effect, and this is gone now because it was sent as the cost of Droplet, I'll activate Metaverse to bring a different Mystic Mine activated and keep control. So this card made me go into it. You're drawing, digging deeper with these cards until you get to your win condition. Like, this is the key card. With the other deck, and I loved it still, but Appropriate was the main card, as you saw. But if you didn't see Appropriate and 1 day apiece, you're trying to dig deeper with the Hand Destruct. You're trying to dig deeper, and with Dark World Dealing with these cards, you're trying to dig deeper with Card of Consonants, getting rid of them. You'll draw 2, breaking even, and then search, so you +1. Then you can trade in to get that +1 into another +1, trying to go into the setup where you can have this safely go into this, go into 1 day apiece, get the DC and grow, and do the whole shenanigans that we did. So it was just like, this video is just to showcase what idea I had, and I made it work. And you can do this with anybody's videos of you can net deck any video you want, but if you don't know how it works and what you want to do with it and take it your route, you won't know what the deck does. Like, going off of it, you wouldn't know what the hell this deck did or how to play it or anything to the combo that I showed at the beginning, until you see it in action. Then you think, oh shit, that's awesome. But we're gonna cut it off here. I don't want to make another long video, but that's basically the idea I have behind these decks, behind my Exodia builds. Hope you like, enjoy, and having a great day.